Well, a new mobile museum is making its way across the area with a look at an important part of our history. Paula Tutman visited the latest stop of the Black History 101 Mobile Museum in Port Huron today and shows us why this exhibit is so impactful.
Part of what makes this mobile museum interesting is who's doing the curation. We're talking about a former public school teacher who understood social studies wasn't being taught. In a lot of ways, it needed to be taught. And so this is his personal collection. These are actual artifacts. And people who are coming to this are actually being touched in ways they're surprised. Whips, chains, posters, 150 plus artifacts that tell our history in a way many have never seen before.
If you look carefully at it, you'll see it's not only people being sold, but they're being sold with things like rice and pens and books and animals. So it wasn't, they didn't think these were human beings, but almost animals being sold. It's
called the Black History 101 Mobile Museum. It travels the nation. The curator, a former social studies teacher for public schools in Detroit.
I saw that there was some gaps in the history, and so I used primary source material to supplement what was missing in the classroom.
Today in Port Huron.
This time of year we celebrate Juneteenth, but even more importantly than that, being here at this time in American history.
While the history of our nation and the painful truth about slavery doesn't change, the way it's presented this year using hip hop to tell the story.
The collection here celebrates hip hop culture because hip hop culture was inspired by the civil rights movement. It was inspired by the Black Power movement. It was inspired by the Black arts movement. And so you see a context that leads up to the beginnings of hip hop culture in the exhibit.
And what visitors are seeing chills them to their core.
This is the beginning of this, which is so disturbing, with the Ku Klux Klan and the people being sold, the people hanging. When you move around, you see that there's freedom through music and things like that, but then you get to the end and we haven't, it's like, do we have to start all over again?
There are no flashing lights or moving parts, just the artifacts and the stories behind them that scream louder than any voice.
There's a lot of things that made a difference to me.
It talks a lot about things that they don't really teach you in schools, that you would, like, they don't teach us half of the stuff that you see in this exhibit. The propaganda of a black person being washed, and when they hopped out, they were white.
How often was I taught this at school? How often is any American child taught this at school?
Yeah, you know, I do want to say that some of the imagery, some of the artifacts, they're pretty raw, and so obviously we couldn't show them on camera. The way they're telling this story through hip-hop makes it suitable for all different ages. Again, Dr. El Hakim, he's collected about 10,000 different artifacts. He puts different ones in different shows. It is a traveling show. And so tomorrow, for instance, the second annual Juneteenth community celebration in Canton, at Heritage Park Amphitheater from 1 to 6. Monday, June 26th, he's actually going to be in the city of Lansing City Hall, and he'll actually have a visiting guest, Muhammad Ali's former wife, Dr. Khalila Ali. So he's got different ways of telling these stories. We're going to put information on our website, clickondetroit.com, so you can either bring him in, organizations bring him in and they pay him and it makes it free to everyone else, or you can see where he's traveling to next. But again, just watching people's reaction was almost as amazing as seeing the artifacts.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks so much, Paula.